So, imagine you've got this super great roommate. You get along so great. One day she comes to you and asks if she can borrow your laptop because she has this really big paper to do. You say, of course, it's a pretty chill week for you homework-wise, and you can do without it for a little bit. 2 days later, she returns it to you apologetically. It's stuck on the dreaded blue screen of death. You're really angry because you trusted your roommate with your laptop and now it's broken. So what happens next? That depends. There are many different theories that attempt to explain conflict. Social exchange theory, uncertainty theory, systems theory, psychodynamic theory, and attribution theory. Let's take a look. Proposed by Freud, the psychodynamic theory says that people experience conflict because of their interpersonal states. Frustration, tension, and anxiety are internal, psychological, mental, and emotional states that can cause interpersonal conflict. From Freud's perspective, the human mind has 3 parts, and how they interact regulates the way that psychic energy is released. There is the id, the ego, and the superego. Freud would probably say that the conflict in the given example comes from the id saying, it's my laptop and I want it now, and the superego saying, nice people don't throw temper tantrums, well, with the ego playing the regulatory middleman. According to the psychodynamic theory, this internal disagreement is the source of external conflicts. Attribution theory states that people respond the way they do in conflict situations because of the inferences that they make about other people's behavior. Internal attributions correspond to who the person is, what their personality is like, and external attributions correspond to things surrounding a person, like the environment or the circumstances. In the situation with the laptop, saying your roommate broke the laptop because they are stupid or careless is an internal attribution and is assigning blame. An external attribution would be that the laptop broke because it is old or someone else bumped into your roommate while they were carrying it. Something to remember is that in general, we are hastier to make internal attributions about negative behaviors of others, he did this because he's an idiot, but tend to make more external attributions about negative behaviors that we commit, that I did it because I had no other choice. This phenomena is called attribution error. Social exchange theory is when people evaluate their interpersonal relationships by assessing the costs and rewards associated with it. It's about rating the relationship by how much they are giving and receiving and making comparisons. The comparison level is how satisfying the relationship or the rewards associated with it are. The comparison level for alternatives assesses the rewards and costs associated with other options to see if they exceed their current comparison level. People experience conflict when they believe that the rewards they are getting are less than the cost they must pay. In this case, the laptop owner is going to think about what kind of relationship they have with their roommate and determine if the relationship is worth saving. Is the laptop something that they can excuse the borrower for in order to save and maintain that relationship? If this is the case, the relationship is maintained. Essentially, systems theory is asking, is the relationship giving me what I want out of it, or is it costing more than it's worth, and should I get out or search for better options elsewhere? Sometimes we engage in conflicts due to insufficient amounts of information. This behavior is explained by the uncertainty theory. Uncertainty is when there is not enough information to understand the goals, motives, or behaviors of another person, which can lead to conflict. In this situation, it could be uncertainty about what the roommate did to the computer that made it break. The uncertainty theory also helps explain false conflicts. These are conflicts in which occur when one or more persons in some interdependent relationship thinks that there is a conflict, but after talking it up with the other party involved, finds that there's no conflict after all. For example, the roommate may think that the blue screen of death will cause a huge rift in the friendship, but when bringing it up, the owner may be entirely casual about the entire situation and getting it fixed. Systems theory accepts conflict as a regular, inevitable, and healthy part of any relationship, and explains that people behave the way that they do because of the systems that they are in. It suggests that it is the relationship or group of relationships that are important and not necessarily the individual. In this case, you behave a certain way because it was your friend that broke your laptop, but would behave differently if it was a parent or a boss because you're in a different system with them. Your behavior is defined by the system you're in, and the system or relationship will work to maintain itself through conflict. Some conflict theories work better than others for explaining certain types of conflict. So while there may not be a one-size-fits-all understanding for conflict, it is helpful to understand the basis of conflict behavior, so when one does arise, we can make better choices in how to deal with it.